I'm going to show you now how to make some gluten-free wraps using the Brazilian cheese puff recipe, which is on cookidoo or your basic cookbook. So basically, let's just get started and skip preheating the oven and greasing your tray. I'm adding in 70 grams of Parmesan cheese. The recipe asks for Gruyere cheese, but I prefer just to use Parmesan because the taste is good and that's what I've got. And so we're going to grate that first. 10 seconds, speed 9. So normally this recipe is made using the muffin tray. So, and you fill it sort of 3/4 of the way, and in the oven they puff up, and they're beautiful. If you haven't tried the cheese puffs, just the way the recipe says, like give it a go. They're really good gluten-free, savory snacks. But today we're doing something different. I'll just show you the grated cheese. 10 seconds to grate your own Parmesan cheese, and it smells beautifully fresh and has no additives. So definitely better to buy it as a block rather than buying it pre-grated that has additives. So the next ingredient to add is just some milk, and you can use milk of choice. So I'm using just normal cow's milk, full cream. You can use, I've done almond milk, rice milk. I think I've tried coconut milk. Anything seems to work. And adding in some oil. Now the recipe asks for vegetable oil, but again, you can use whatever oil you prefer. So I'm using extra virgin olive oil because that's my preference. I've got a very slow drizzler here because you don't normally need this much oil in a recipe. This is asking for 60 grams. But that's okay, we're almost there. So then there's only 2 more ingredients, which are 3 more actually, which is it asks for arrowroot flour, but I actually prefer to use tapioca flour because I think it's cheaper. And I've tried both and I can find no noticeable difference between the two. Adding in an egg and then the flour just going in. And a teaspoon of salt. So that's it. So this is going to want us to blend for 20 seconds. Going to ask us to give it a little scrape down. It's already looking like a pretty good batter, but just give it a scrape and we're going to do 5 more seconds. And then it will be ready. So it just wants to make sure all the cheese is incorporated basically. So 5 more seconds. So then our batter is ready and I actually need to heat up the pan. I'll show you the batter. Yeah, nothing too exciting. I'll just heat up the pan. Okay, my pan is, I've just put it on a kind of low to medium, but I'm just going to pour it in similar to as if you were making like crepes or pancakes. And I'll just swirl it a little bit. Depends how thick or thin you want it, because it's totally subjectively up to you how thin or thick you want your crepes. That looks good to me. And I'll give it a few seconds. I've seen some people do this on a sandwich press and make it a bit thicker if you want it to be more of an omelette kind of wrap, like a bit thicker, a bit fluffier. But I'm wanting to make some salad wraps for dinner. So this is going to be perfect if I do it a bit thinner, like the ones you buy. So this is a really good saving money thing for if you're gluten-free especially. Even if you're not, these are pretty cheap wraps to make. So and then the other thing is knowing what's in them, having them to be additive free. Okay, I'll just flip that. And it smells really good. So yeah, just a quite quick and easy wrap recipe to make using the cheese puff recipe, which everyone, if you've tried them, already loves. And if you haven't, I really recommend trying it. Okay, we'll just, the other side doesn't usually need very long. That's probably good. And I'll show you the result. We've got a wrap that is very flexible, so you can roll it up. Perfect. Enjoy.